everybody, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and we hope by now you're very excited about football or soccer. This is the World Cup time of year, so this comes every 4 years, actually. And we've got a lesson all about it.
That's right. So as everyone may or may not have heard, we are actually in the middle of the World Cup. And as you say, it's a football or soccer competition. Now, soccer is only used in the United States.
That's right. It's used in the United States, although football can be confusing in a place like Australia, where they have two different games that are called football.
That's right. So it's a little bit difficult at times to tell someone that you play football and they think you play American football or Australian football or soccer. So it's a little bit confusing.
It can be, yeah.
All right, so we have a great lesson all about the World Cup. We're going to explain a little bit, and so let's listen to the dialogue for the very first time.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing? Don't you know what day it is?
No.
It's only the day when the world's biggest sporting event is kicking off.
What?
The World Cup. The first match is today. It's Mexico versus South Africa. It's going to be a really good match. Both teams have a very strong offense and have skilled players. I think that South Africa will probably dominate the first half since they are the host country and all.
I have no idea what you're talking about. The only sporting event we watch at home is the Super Bowl.
This is bigger than the Super Bowl, man. Teams from 32 countries compete against each other every 4 years and fight to win that trophy. They first start in a group stage with 8 groups, each group having 4 teams. The top 2 teams pass on to an elimination stage before going on to the semifinals and the quarterfinals.
Sounds interesting, but soccer doesn't really appeal to me.
Are you kidding? Over 700 million people watched the final match of the 2006 World Cup. It's a very exciting and nerve-wracking sport. Each nation is cheering on their team, hoping they will become the next champion. So far, Brazil is the team with the most titles under their belt. They're really good.
All I know about soccer is that you can't use your hands and that players are always falling down trying to get a free kick or penalty kick. It seems like a sissy sport to me.
Whatever. I'm going to go watch the opening match.
All right, we're back. So obviously, 2 people discussing or fighting over the World Cup and soccer. One of them doesn't really like it. But he came up with some really interesting points and explained a couple of interesting things. So let's take a look at some of that vocab on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So, okay, the very first phrase here is a very important one. We're talking about sports. This game is called a sporting event.
That's right. So a sporting event is an event, I guess you would say, is a performance or something that happens occasionally, but related to sports.
That's right. So an event can be a game itself or a tournament. You've heard maybe of, well, the UEFA Cup, that's the European Federation of Football or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So basically you have this tournament for European soccer teams, but the World Cup is also an event, and a very important game could also be an event. So this basically means a sporting match or a sporting competition.
That's right. Now it may sound confusing as to why you put the ing in sport. It should be maybe sports event or sport event. But I'm not really sure why we add the gerund to sporting event.
We always just say it this way. It's a set phrase. So let's remember that it's sporting event. This is the world's most important sporting event, for example.
Okay, very good. Now we went in, we talked about the first match, Mexico versus South Africa. And they're talking about the teams and how they both have a very strong offense.
Okay, so offense is a part of the team. Basically, it's a group of players who are trying to score.
That's right.
Okay, so when you're good at offense, it means you're good at scoring. Mm-hmm. And the opposite of offense is what?
Defense.
Defense. So offense, defense. Mm-hmm. You can say they have a very strong defense. That means that it's very hard to score against them because their defenders, their goalies, they're all very strong.
That's right. So we're talking about an offense and a defense, both very important parts of a team. And so the guy continued and made a little bit of a prediction saying that South Africa will probably dominate the first half.
Okay, so you know that football matches are split into halves. You have first half and second half. To dominate here means to be stronger than someone else.
So to control the ball or to have possession or to be the one that is the strongest team on the field.
That's right. So you can dominate by having a very strong defense, or you can dominate by having a very strong offense, or both. Dominate means be stronger than.
That's right. Okay, now let's move on to the other guy who doesn't really like soccer. And he says, I have no idea what you're talking about. All I know is that I watched the Super Bowl.
Okay, now this is a very American thing, the Super Bowl.
That's right.
We mentioned earlier that in America, most people call the game soccer, not football. Well, that's because in America, we have a different game called football.
That's right.
And so the Super Bowl is like the most important game in the football world. It's the game that happens every year at the very end of the season.
That's right. So this is what we usually call American football. So you've probably seen it on TV as well. And the Super Bowl is basically the name of the final sporting event of American football. Just like we have World Cup, we have the Super Bowl. And
the winner of the Super Bowl is the best team that year.
That's right. All right, so now let's go on to explain a little bit about how the World Cup works. The guy went on to explain that there are 32 countries competing, and basically we have 3 parts: an elimination stage, a semifinals, and quarterfinals.
Okay, so basically this describes the different levels, because obviously 32 teams can't compete for one trophy at first. You have to make the numbers smaller. So 32 becomes 16, becomes 8, becomes 4, becomes 2.
That's right.
And so we have different groups for these. The first one is the elimination stage, when some teams lose and they go home.
That's right.
And after that, then we have a quarterfinals. So what is quarterfinals?
The quarterfinals are when you have 8 teams that are basically the top 8 teams of the competition, and they will play against one other opponent. So the winner passes on to the next stage, which would be the semifinals.
Well, the math makes sense because quarter has to do with 4, right?
That's right.
So in the quarterfinals, 8 teams become 4. And in the semifinals, 4 teams become 2.
That's right.
And then what happens after the semifinals?
And then we have the final, where basically the 2 top teams will compete against each other, and there will be one champion.
USA! US! And this is when it gets very nationalistic. People are very proud of their countries.
Of course, of course. And so this basically is what happens and how we get our champion. And, well, now let's explain a little bit very quickly about 2 things that happen in the game during gameplay, when we have a free kick and a penalty kick.
Okay, so a kick, you just kick the ball. But sometimes when the ball goes out of bounds, or when a player is injured or there's a foul, then that player or his teammate can take a special kick. All right, and so a free kick it's just a kick from anywhere, right? A free kick is a kick that you get basically according to the referee, who says, okay, stop the game. He's going to kick from inside the lines.
That's right. So wherever you are fouled, wherever somebody maybe hit you wrong or something happened, from that position you will kick freely towards the goal or wherever you want.
You can pass to your other players as well.
That's right.
But a penalty kick is a bit different because you have to be in a special place when you do it.
That's right. A penalty kick is when you are fouled inside the box, what they call it, is in the area very close to the goalie. So if you commit a foul there, then the other player will receive a penalty kick, and it will just be him against the goalie, and he must kick the ball. I think it's approximately 10 meters, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and this is why it's very dangerous, because you're so close to the goalie and no one can stop you. And so when fouls happen inside that special box, it's usually bad news for the goalie.
Yeah, of course. So this is what happens during a penalty kick, and well, basically you have no defenders, so it's just you, the goalie, and it can get, as you said, very complicated for the goalie. So all right, so we've taken a look at a lot of things on language takeaway. Let's move on now to 3 phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so this is a great word to describe how I felt last week when I watched the England versus America match. I thought it was a nerve-wracking game.
That's
okay?
right.
And we heard this in the dialogue, right?
Yeah, you said it was a very nerve-wracking game, or in the dialogue the guy said it's a very exciting and nerve-wracking sport. So if something's nerve-wracking, what does it mean?
Well, basically, if you break it down, nerves are those things in your body, in your skin, that make you feel. So if someone hurts you, you feel it because of your nerves. So something that is nerve-wracking makes you nervous. It makes you anxious. It makes you feel very sensitive.
That's right. So, of course, the sporting event is so exciting, and you're worried that your country or your team will lose, that you're very nervous and you're very excited, you're very anxious. A lot of things are going on.
Maybe you're sweating, maybe you're drinking a lot. You don't want to know. You don't want to see your team lose, and so you get very nervous.
That's right. And now, of course, if your team is in the World Cup, you are cheering on for your team, or you're cheering them on.
Okay, so this is an interesting phrase because maybe you've heard the word to cheer before, go team, go team.
Yeah.
This is cheering. But we often say, I want to cheer him on. Okay, so this on to me means like, I want to cheer him on to victory. I want to push them towards some goal. And so you hear this a lot. Let's cheer them on. Or he was really cheering me on. Made me feel good. And
Motivating you.
Motivating you. So to cheer someone on. Cheer them on.
All right. So obviously this is why we have cheerleaders, right? Girls that
Give me an A. Give me a B.
These are the girls, or the group of girls that cheer teams on.
Or men too. I've seen male cheerleaders.
Yes, that's true. All right. And now when we talked about Brazil, they are the team with the most titles under their belt.
Okay, we're not talking about a real belt here, are we?
No.
No. Under your belt, or under their belt in this case, means that in their history, they have the most titles.
That's right. I think it may come from boxing, or one of those sports where you actually wear a belt that says your title. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes a boxing belt will have various titles on the belt.
Right, the championship belts.
Yeah.
Because they wear it afterwards. I've never heard that before, but it does make sense. But the important thing to remember here is that it's not just sports. You could say he has 10 years of experience in marketing under his belt.
That's right.
That means he's good. He's experienced at marketing.
That's right. So that's right. As you said, you can use it for work experience. You can use it for titles in work, or maybe in education. You can say he's got 3 master's degrees under his belt.
Wow.
All right. So a lot of great stuff there. We've taken a look at a lot of vocab. So I think we should listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing? Don't you know what day it is?
No.
It's only the day when the world's biggest sporting event is kicking off.
What?
The World Cup. The first match is today. It's Mexico versus South Africa. It's going to be a really good match. Both teams have a very strong offense and have skilled players. I think that South Africa will probably dominate the first half since they are the host country and all.
I have no idea what you're talking about. The only sporting event we watch at home is the Super Bowl.
This is bigger than the Super Bowl, man. Teams from 32 countries compete against each other every 4 years and fight to win that trophy. They first start in a group stage with 8 groups, each group having 4 teams. The top 2 teams pass on to an elimination stage before going on to the semifinals and the quarterfinals.
Sounds interesting, but soccer doesn't really appeal to me.
Are you kidding? Over 700 million people watched the final match of the 2006 World Cup. It's a very exciting and nerve-wracking sport. Each nation is cheering on their team, hoping they will become the next champion. So far, Brazil is the team with the most titles under their belt. They're really good.
All I know about soccer is that you can't use your hands, and that players are always falling down trying to get a free kick or penalty kick. It seems like a sissy sport to me.
Whatever. I'm going to go watch the opening match.
All right, so the World Cup, as we said, it gathers over 100 million people to watch the final in 2006. Now, this sport is not very popular in North America.
It's not, well, that's not totally true because Mexicans really follow football.
That's right. That's right.
But I think in America, in United States, it is one of the less popular sports. I was thinking the other day, maybe number 5 on our list of popular sports.
Maybe because, well, you have American football, the NFL, you have Major League Baseball, you have the NBA, you have the NHL, and I think maybe before soccer you probably either have golf or tennis before soccer. Even though the United States does have its own Major League Soccer.
Yep, MLS, Major League Soccer, and my hometown team is Chicago Fire, pretty good team.
I heard they're very good.
And the LA Galaxy, I think, is the other best team in the States.
That's right. Now, the United States did host the 1994 World Cup, and I think this is where a little bit of more interest started to come up, and I think Major League Soccer was formed prior to the World Cup in the United States.
That's right. Well, there's another part of it. I mean, as young people, as children, we almost all played soccer. I played soccer. I know a lot of my friends did as well. It's not popular everywhere, but a lot of people play it, and there's not really an audience for soccer in America once you're in the professional realm. And so the problem is when you pass college, you don't think of it as, you know, the NBA, for example, because there's not as big of an audience, and so people just end up doing their normal jobs as opposed to being professional soccer players.
I think that has a big something to do with it, is the fact that there is not as much money in this sport professionally as, for example, the NBA
or prestige.
Exactly. Although this is the on the other hand, these players that do make it and they really want to play, they go abroad and they go play in the European leagues or something like that.
That's right. I think a lot of the American players who were playing the other day against England were playing against their teammates because so many of the American team, the American national team, play in the English Premier League. It was really awkward.
Well, it's a really great sport, as I think it's one of the most popular sports in many other countries as well, because it's so easy. All you need is a ball, you need a group of people, you put 2 rocks, and you have a goal, and you start playing.
And that's probably why it's the most international sport, because you know it's very easy to set up. People all over the world love it, and hopefully one day the United States will kind of push it and
champion.
Yeah, well, I hope this year they'll become champions, but my fingers are definitely crossed because who knows?
All right, so it's a really great topic. We want to know if your country is in the World Cup. Have you ever qualified for a World Cup? There are still many countries who haven't made it. Of course, it's a very small pool. 199 countries compete to qualify for the World Cup, and only 32 make it.
And you can also tell us who you're supporting. We won't judge.
That's right. So we're waiting for your comments at EnglishPod.com. We'll see everyone there.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
To officially begin something. Kick. A step in a process. Stage. Something only appropriate for girls or women. Sissy. Game. Match. One who provides services, etc., as for a convention. Host.
Let's try that faster.
A step in a process. Stage. Something only appropriate for girls or women. Sissy. To officially begin something. Kick. Game. Match. One who provides services, etc., as for a convention. Host.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Stage. There are several stages a team must go through in order to make the finals. Stage. This morning, I finally moved on to the next stage of my video game. Stage. If we start her on these medications, we can cure her because she is still only in the first stages of the illness. Kick. Today, we are kicking off a new line of cosmetics. Kick. At the opening ceremony, we will kick off the beginning of the weekend conference. Kick. The fundraiser's kickoff will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Match. It's Spain versus Brazil in the final match. Match. I can't make it to the match today, but let me know how it goes. Match. This soccer match is going to be nerve-wracking because it is my school against our rival school across town. Host. The host country put on quite an elaborate show at the opening ceremonies. Host. The host school went wild when the home team won the championship. Host. I hardly got any time to speak to the host of the party because she was constantly running around and talking to the other guests. Sissy. I think soccer is a sissy sport. Sissy. That kid is such a sissy when his mom is around, but he's fine when she's gone. Sissy. The whole camping trip she was being such a sissy about having to sleep on the ground and not being able to shower.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're looking at some more romance.
We're talking about dating.
Dating, exactly. And not only dating, but asking someone to become your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yep, that's true. And so we're going to be focusing on language to express your romantic feelings, and also maybe some phrases you can use to ask someone out.
Very good. So I'm sure you guys are excited about this one. So let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend. and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you. Until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, I wonder, is she going to say yes?
I don't know. She seems a little bit confused.
Well, I guess it's always strange when your best friend suddenly wants to be your boyfriend or girlfriend.
It does happen, though.
Yep.
It does happen. So why don't we take a look at some of the vocabulary that was used in this dialogue to express these feelings? And let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
Okay, so we're doing things a little differently today. We're looking at phrases and not just vocabulary words. So he used some wonderful phrases to ask her to be his boyfriend. And he started with this. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
All right. That's a very strange phrase. Here's the thing. Is
Yeah.
it giving her something?
Not quite. He's not giving her an object, but he's giving her some information.
Okay. So it's a very common way to start an idea.
That's right.
You're about to tell the person the main problem or the main...
The main piece of information.
Right? So you would start with, here's the thing, and then start explaining.
Okay, why don't we do an example?
For example, you could say, all right, here's the thing. People don't like you.
All right, well, I hope they don't say that to me. But another example, Marco, here's the thing. We're behind in our podcasting. We have to work overtime.
Okay. So the main idea.
Yep.
Very good. Moving on to our next phrase.
He said, I can't take it.
I can't take it anymore.
I can't take it anymore.
So he can't take it anymore. Take what?
Well, why don't we find out by listening to some examples?
Example 1.
The man next door has been so loud. I can't take it anymore.
Example 2.
My boss always yells at me. I can't take it anymore.
Example 3.
I can't take it anymore. I'm going to quit.
All right. So basically is you can't stand it. You can't tolerate it anymore.
Exactly. This is a phrase we use when we are really frustrated.
But yeah, when we're frustrated or when we just can't handle it anymore. And well, after he finished his declaration of love, she responded by saying, "Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?"
Are you serious?
Okay, so what does she mean?
She's just saying, really?
Exactly. It's another way of saying really.
Yep. So this is a phrase that's really, it's quite informal, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't use it in a business context.
No, and it's also something that's used mostly by younger people.
Right. If you say something that's amazing or that's incredible, hard to believe, you might get this response.
Are you serious?
Right. So he is very serious, but he confessed that he never had the guts to tell her.
Have the guts.
I never had the guts to tell you.
I never had the guts.
All right. So to have guts,
That's to be brave.
to be brave, courageous.
Yep.
So we have some examples of how we would use guts in different situations. So let's listen.
Example 1.
I don't have the guts to go skydiving.
Example 2.
I don't have the guts to give a speech.
Example 3.
I've never had the guts to say no to my boss.
All right, so to have the guts to do something. Hey, but Marco, this word guts, it's an interesting one.
Yes, it is, because guts can also mean your internal organs.
Like your stomach and your intestines and your lungs.
Exactly. Those are your guts.
Yep. So when you have guts, you're really brave.
Exactly. You're courageous. All right, very good. Why don't we listen to the dialogue for the second time? We're going to slow it down a little bit, and we'll come back and look at some phrases and putting it together.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay. Here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So, what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so that's a little bit clearer this time. But while I was listening, I noticed that there's some more great phrases that you can use together with different words. So let's look at those now and putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, let's take a look at the first one. He said, I made a reservation just for the two of us.
The two of us.
Just the two of us.
So just the two of us. Quite simply, it means you and me, just us, right?
Right, just us. So why is this phrase important?
I think it's a great way to show the idea of only us, right?
Right.
And we can use it together with any number we want.
So what about the four of us?
Just the four of us.
Okay.
Just the eight of us.
Okay.
So it suggests the idea of only us. You know?
Okay. So he made the reservation just for the two of us because he thought they could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
If you have something all to yourself, or we have something all to ourselves.
We have that thing all alone. We don't have to share it.
We don't share. Very good. So I guess you can say, my parents are out of town, so I have the apartment, I have the house all to myself.
Or even, she wants to eat the cake all to herself.
Very good. So that's a very good phrase.
And you can use it with any pronoun. Well, so the guy is explaining that I've always seen you as more than just a friend.
I've always seen you as.
I've always seen you as.
So basically is the perception or the way you consider that person.
The way you think about that person.
So I can say, I've always seen you as a good friend.
I've always seen you as a leader. Okay, so our last phrase is also the last thing we heard in the dialogue. He said, are you willing to give me a shot?
Are you willing to give me a shot?
To give me a shot.
Give me a shot. All right, I think we have some more examples of how we could use give me a shot in different situations, so let's listen.
Example 1.
I know I can do this drawing better. Just give me a shot.
Example 2.
The HR manager wasn't going to hire me, but he decided to give me a shot.
Okay, so when you give someone a shot, you take a chance, right?
Give that person or give an opportunity.
All right, so we don't know if she will give him a shot or not, but why don't we listen to the dialogue once more to hear these phrases in action?
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so an interesting dialogue, and it opens up a cultural point.
That's right. So in the dialogue, the guy was asking her if she would be his girlfriend, right?
Right, but I guess it's not very common among adults, at least,
Yep.
in English-speaking countries.
Yeah, we don't say like, okay, so please will you be my boyfriend now, you know?
Right. You would do that maybe in high school.
Yeah, but even then, I think it's still a little funny. I think for us, when we start to have romantic relationships, it just sort of happens naturally, right?
Right.
You never really have this conversation, will you be my boyfriend?
Right, I guess afterwards you just start talking about other things which you just consider that you guys are already boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But there's no
official starting point.
Yeah, there's no official point that says, okay, now we are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yep.
Which is interesting because in other countries they do go through the formality of asking somebody to become their boyfriend.
Yeah. But even, like 20 or 30 years ago in English-speaking countries, you would do this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it was called going steady.
Going steady.
So you would ask, will you go steady with me?
And that means let's become a stable couple.
Exactly.
All right, so we want to hear your stories. And, well, how do you do it in your country? Do you ask someone out? Do you maybe just give them the first kiss and that's an automatic yes?
Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to hearing from our listeners.
Hi, everyone. This is Luca, and I am glad you are here with me today. We talk about romance and dating in our modern world with apps and texts. Many people use dating apps to meet others now. They chat online and decide to ask someone out. They write "here's the thing" in their messages to share feelings. The apps help them plan a quiet evening, just the two of us. They spend the time all to ourselves happily. The modern tools make the process simple for everyone. People think about their words before they send. They have the guts to say, "I have always seen you as more than just a friend." They wait for the reply and hope it is good. The phone shows the message quickly. They ask, "Are you serious?" if the answer surprises them. The texting changes how they express romantic feelings. Couples like to book places on apps for dates. They choose spots for just the two of us. They look forward to the quiet evening all to ourselves. The apps let them confirm details fast. They feel close when they talk about the pros and cons. The online world helps them connect in fresh ways. Some send long messages late at night. They say, "I can't take it anymore," and open their heart. They have the guts to ask someone out clearly. The apps keep the chat going smoothly. They plan the quiet evening, just the two of us, after the yes. The technology brings them together nicely. Young adults check their phones for new notes. They read, "I have always seen you as more than just a friend," and smile. They reply with "here's the thing" to share more. The messages help them ask, "Are you serious?" in return. They enjoy time all to ourselves on real dates. The modern apps guide every step. Friends turn into partners through social media. They like posts and start private chats. They have the guts to say, "Here's the thing" when ready. They plan a quiet evening, just the two of us. They talk about the pros and cons openly. The online connection grows stronger every day. People use dating apps on their way to work. They message and decide to give me a shot. They write, "I can't take it anymore" in the text. The phone helps them ask someone out easily. They spend the quiet evening all to ourselves later. The apps make romance feel natural. Many check profiles and send hello first. They move to "here's the thing" when they feel close. They have the guts to ask, "Are you serious?" after time. They plan the quiet evening, just the two of us. They share thoughts about the pros and cons. The modern way keeps things light. Students chat on school apps after class. They say, "I have always seen you as more than just a friend." They wait and then ask someone out. The messages include plans for a quiet evening all to ourselves. They feel excited with the reply. The technology helps them every time. Workers meet through office group chats. They send private notes and use "here's the thing." They have the guts to say, "I can't take it anymore." They ask, "Are you serious?" in the next message. They book a quiet evening, just the two of us. The apps support their daily life. People share photos and stories online. They decide to give me a shot after likes. They write, I have always seen you as more than just a friend. The texting leads to a quiet evening all to ourselves. They talk about the pros and cons freely. The modern tools change dating fast. Many plan dates with quick app clicks. They say, here's the thing to start deep talks. They have the guts to ask someone out clearly. The reply comes, and they ask, are you serious? They enjoy the quiet evening, just the two of us. The phone keeps everything organized. Friends from social media meet in person. They use I can't take it anymore in messages first. They plan the quiet evening all to ourselves. They discuss the pros and cons of their days. The apps help them give me a shot. The connection feels right and easy. Young people text during breaks at school. They say, I have always seen you as more than just a friend. They have the guts to follow with here's the thing. They ask, are you serious, and wait. The quiet evening, just the two of us, comes next. The modern apps make it simple. Couples use video calls to talk. They move to text and say, I can't take it anymore. They plan a quiet evening all to ourselves after. The messages include plans to ask someone out. They share the pros and cons openly. The technology supports their romance well. People look at dating apps in the evening. They send here's the thing to express thoughts. They have the guts to give me a shot. The reply asks, are you serious, nicely. They book the quiet evening, just the two of us. The modern world helps them connect. Many read messages and think about feelings. They reply with, I have always seen you as more than just a friend. They ask someone out through the app. The quiet evening all to ourselves follows soon. They talk about the pros and cons later. The apps guide the whole process.
Hey, Julia, I think dating apps make it easy to say, here's the thing now. You know, I always plan a quiet evening, just the two of us, when I feel ready.
Yes, Jack, the apps help me ask someone out clearly. I have the guts to write, I have always seen you as more than just a friend you know.
I like how texting lets me say I can't take it anymore. It helps me give me a shot at something new with the person.
The messages ask, are you serious, when I reply. I think we plan the quiet evening all to ourselves after the yes every time.
I check the pros and cons in my chats first. You know, the apps help me ask someone out without stress on a modern date.
People use phones to say here's the thing fast. I think it builds the quiet evening, just the two of us, nicely every time.
My messages include I have always seen you as more than just a friend. You know, I have the guts to send them now.
I wait for are you serious in the reply. The apps let me give me a shot at a quiet evening all to ourselves.
I can't take it anymore, so I text right away. You know, the quiet evening, just the two of us, feels special after.
The pros and cons come up in our talks. I think apps help us ask someone out in simple ways.
Here's the thing shows up in my notes often. You know, I have the guts to plan the quiet evening all to ourselves.
I ask, are you serious, when I get surprised. The apps make it easy to give me a shot at dating.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend in texts. You know, the quiet evening, just the two of us, works well.
I can't take it anymore, so I reply fast. I think we ask someone out with the apps every day.
The quiet evening, all to ourselves, starts with here's the thing. You know, I have the guts to send it first.
Are you serious comes back and we smile. The apps help us give me a shot at real dates.
I check the pros and cons before I send. You know, the quiet evening, just the two of us, feels right.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend now. I think texting helps us ask someone out smoothly.
Here's the thing opens my messages every time. You know, I can't take it anymore without saying it.
The quiet evening all to ourselves follows the yes. I have the guts to plan it on the app.
Are you serious? Makes the chat fun. You know, we give me a shot at new feelings.
I ask someone out with simple texts now. The pros and cons help me decide every time.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend clearly. You know, the quiet evening, just the two of us, is perfect.
Here's the thing comes when I feel close. I think we have the guts to meet after the app chat.
I can't take it anymore, so the message goes out. The apps lead to the quiet evening, all to ourselves.
Are you serious is nice to hear back. You know, we give me a shot at something real.
The pros and cons show in our notes. I think the quiet evening, just the two of us, builds from there.
I asked someone out after the good reply. Here's the thing starts the quiet evening all to ourselves well.
I have the guts to say, I have always seen you as more than just a friend. You know, the apps help every step.
I can't take it anymore in my text too. The quiet evening, just the two of us, feels exciting now.
Are you serious comes, and we laugh together. You know, we give me a shot with modern tools.
The pros and cons guide our chats nicely. I think we plan the quiet evening all to ourselves fast.
Here's the thing opens every deep talk. You know, I ask someone out with the phone apps.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend in notes. The quiet evening, just the two of us, starts soon.
I have the guts to send, I can't take it anymore. You know, the reply asks, are you serious kindly?
We give me a shot after the messages. The pros and cons make the quiet evening all to ourselves better.
I ask someone out on dating apps daily. Here's the thing, helps me share my thoughts clearly.
The quiet evening, just the two of us, is fun. You know, I have the guts to reply fast.
Are you serious shows in the screen? I think we plan more with the apps now.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend. The pros and cons come up in our talks.
I can't take it anymore, so I type the words. You know, the quiet evening, all to ourselves, waits after.
Here's the thing starts our best chats. I give me a shot at new romance every time.
The quiet evening, just the two of us, feels close. You know, we ask someone out with easy texts.
Are you serious makes me happy every reply. The apps help us have the guts to continue.
I check the pros and cons online first. You know, here's the thing follows in my message.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend now. The quiet evening all to ourselves comes next.
I can't take it anymore without texting. You know, we give me a shot after the good words.
The apps let me ask someone out nicely. Are you serious is the best part every time.
Here's the thing opens my heart online. You know, the quiet evening, just the two of us, is ready.
I have the guts to say more now. The pros and cons help us plan together.
I ask someone out with simple app notes. You know, I can't take it anymore until I do.
The quiet evening all to ourselves starts well. Are you serious comes and we meet soon.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend in chats. You know, we give me a shot easily.
Here's the thing shows up in every story. The apps make the pros and cons clear fast.
I plan the quiet evening, just the two of us online. You know, I have the guts to ask someone out.
I can't take it anymore, so the text goes. Are you serious is nice to read back.
We give me a shot at real dates now. You know, the quiet evening, all to ourselves, feels special.
The pros and cons guide my replies always. Here's the thing helps me open up nicely.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend clearly. You know, apps change how we date.
I asked someone out after good chats. The quiet evening, just the two of us, waits for us.
Are you serious comes and we talk more. You know, I can't take it anymore without saying yes.
Here's the thing starts our best moments. I have the guts to give me a shot every time.
The pros and cons show in our messages. You know, the quiet evening, all to ourselves, is perfect.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend now. The apps help us ask someone out fast.
I plan everything with the phone tools. Are you serious makes the quiet evening, just the two of us, fun.
I can't take it anymore in my notes. You know, we give me a shot at new feelings.
Here's the thing opens every important chat. The pros and cons help us decide together.
The quiet evening all to ourselves feels right. I have the guts to reply with yes.
I ask someone out on modern apps daily. You know, I have always seen you as more than just a friend.
Are you serious shows up in the reply. The quiet evening, just the two of us, comes after.
We give me a shot after the texts. You know, I can't take it anymore until I send it.
Here's the thing helps me share clearly. The apps make dating simple and close every day.
The pros and cons guide our plans well. You know, the quiet evening, all to ourselves, starts nicely.
I have the guts to ask someone out now. Are you serious is the fun part in chats.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend. You know, we give me a shot with apps.
The quiet evening, just the two of us waits. Here's the thing opens my messages every time.
I can't take it anymore, so I text fast. You know, the pros and cons come up later.
Are you serious makes everything exciting. The apps help us plan the quiet evening all to ourselves.
I ask someone out after the good reply. You know, I have the guts to say more now.
We give me a shot at real romance. Here's the thing shows in every deep note.
The quiet evening, just the two of us, feels good. You know, the pros and cons help us grow.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend online. Are you serious comes back nicely.
I can't take it anymore without the app. You know, we ask someone out in simple ways.
The quiet evening all to ourselves starts soon. Here's the thing helps us connect fast every time.
I have the guts to give me a shot now. You know, the apps change romance for us.
The pros and cons show clearly in texts. Are you serious makes the quiet evening, just the two of us, better.
I have always seen you as more than just a friend. You know, I ask someone out with confidence.
I can't take it anymore, so the message sends. The quiet evening all to ourselves feels perfect.
Here's the thing starts our best talks. You know, we give me a shot after the yes.
The apps help with every quiet evening, just the two of us. Are you serious is always nice to hear.
Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. You and me.
Two of us.
Just for us and no one else.
All to ourselves.
Phrase used to begin explaining a situation or problem.
Here's the thing.
Good things and bad things about a person.
Pros and cons.
Courage, brave.
Guts.
To let someone have a try.
Give someone a shot.
Phrase used to indicate that you are dating someone.
Going out.
To become someone's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Get with.
To ask someone to join you on a romantic date.
Ask out.
Having a very close relationship. Very warm and friendly.
Intimate.
To kiss.
Make out.
Let's try that faster. You and me.
Two of us.
Phrase used to indicate that you are dating someone.
Going out.
Having a very close relationship. Very warm and friendly.
Intimate.
To ask someone to join you on a romantic date.
Ask out.
Good things and bad things about a person.
Pros and cons.
To let someone have a try.
Give someone a shot.
Phrase used to begin explaining a situation or problem.
Here's the thing.
Courage, brave.
Guts.
To kiss.
Make out.
Just for us and no one else.
All to ourselves.
To become someone's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Get with.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Good evening, sir. Do you have a reservation? Hi, I'm calling to make a dinner reservation. I have a reservation for a group of 4. The man next door is so loud. I can't take it anymore. My boss always yells at me. I can't take it anymore. I'm going to quit. I couldn't take her complaining anymore, so I broke up with her. Are you serious? Why do you suddenly want to move out? You're getting married? Are you serious? He said he loves you? Are you serious?
Guts.
I don't have the guts to go skydiving.
Guts.
I don't have the guts to give a speech.
Guts.
I never had the guts to say no to my boss. What do you say we go for dinner? Let's move to Hawaii. What do you say? So, what do you say? Will you come? Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
Hey, Amira, how are you today?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about this lesson that you have for us today.
Yes, it's actually a very, very useful lesson. It's about someone asking his boss for an assistant.
Oh, okay, an assistant. What's an assistant?
Well, it's someone who helps you with your work around the office.
Okay, great. So let's listen to this dialogue, and when we come back, we'll take a look at all the interesting and useful vocabulary that you'll find.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, we're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad, and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony.
And we're back. Tony, he's surprised, huh?
Yeah, he's, I don't know why, though, he's surprised. I think we should talk about that a little bit later.
Yes, for now, let's look at some interesting vocabulary and phrases here. Marco, I know you've chosen one for us.
Yeah, the first one that I want to take a look at is resources.
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 And that means, in this text, basically money.
Right.
So the office doesn't have enough money.
Okay. I've chosen another interesting word for you, and that's understaffed.
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 Now, understaffed means that they don't have enough people working there.
They don't have enough workers.
Right. They don't have enough employees.
Perfect. Okay. The next one is timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, let's listen to how we can use this entire phrase in a different situation so then we can understand what it means. Let's listen.
I was going to sell my house, but the timing is just not right. Honey, I think we should have a baby.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, great. I guess that makes it clear.
Yes, actually, it's very obvious that it means that it's just not a good time.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. I have another interesting phrase for you, which is weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
So, to take weight off my shoulders is another way of saying to help me with my work or to take some of my work away from me.
If you have a lot of things to do and I come and help you, that means that I took some of the weight off your shoulders.
Yes.
Let's look at the next phrase that we have here, and it's give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Okay, now this is not literal. It's not that I'm going to give you somebody's hand, right? Let's listen to some examples, and then we can come back and explain what it means.
Can you give me a hand with these boxes?
Neil, I'll need you to give me a hand with the sales reports.
Here, let me give you a hand with your suitcase.
All right. Give me a hand is another way of saying help or to help out.
Exactly, to help out.
Right.
Perfect.
Now, the last phrase we're going to look at here in this dialogue is keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
So to keep our costs down means to try and not spend so much money.
Exactly. Many companies, for example, now control how much printing you do.
Yes.
Right? To
yes.
keep the costs down of paper.
Yeah, so in other words, they do not want to have unnecessary spending.
Perfect. Okay, I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue one more time. But I want everyone to listen and see why Tony is surprised at the end when he meets his intern, when he meets his assistant.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, we're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad, and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony.
Well, you know, Marco, I think that Tony was really surprised because he was kind of hoping to have a female intern.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he was expecting. Maybe this guy is a little bit sexist. He thought that an intern should be a girl, but instead
he got Adam.
Exactly, and it looks like Adam is really big and really tall because he's got that deep voice.
Right. An intern, Marco, do you want to elaborate on that?
Working at a company with a very low salary or sometimes no salary at all, but what you're gaining is experience and you're learning a lot of things. Everyone who has been an intern or had an intern knows that sometimes they are not treated all that well. Sometimes they just serve coffee or they have to do paperwork.
Or like photocopying things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some internships are really, really cool, and some are really good experiences for learning.
Yes, definitely. Actually, I know a friend of mine. She used to work as an intern in one of those really big companies, and she told me that she has gained so much experience doing that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get paid, the experience that you get is really good. And that just opens doors for maybe getting another job. Or sometimes the interns get hired by the company to stay because they do such a good job.
Yeah, I think that's mostly the case, huh?
Yeah, that happened to me once. I started working as an intern, and after 3 months, I was hired by the company. So it does happen, believe me.
So you did a good job.
Yeah, of course. All right, folks, we're out of time today. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson.
Asking for assistance. When people need help, they ask for assistance. This can happen in many situations. You might ask for help when you are lost, when you cannot carry something heavy, or when you do not understand something. It is important to know how to ask for help politely and clearly. When you need assistance, you can start by saying, "Excuse me," or "Can you help me, please?" This shows that you are polite. People are usually happy to help when you ask nicely. For example, if you cannot find a place, you can say, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the bank is?" If you need help carrying a bag, you can say, "Can you help me carry this bag, please?" When someone helps you, it is important to say thank you or I appreciate it. This shows that you are grateful. If you need help but do not know how to ask, it can feel difficult. Learning simple phrases can make it easier. For example, "I need help with this," or "Can you help me, please?" are useful sentences. Remember, asking for assistance is normal, and people often help each other in daily life. When asking for assistance, it is important to know different ways to express your needs. Sometimes, you may need help in a public place, like a store, a train station, or a hospital. In these situations, using polite language is very important. People are more likely to help you if you ask in a kind and respectful way. You can start your request by using phrases like, "Excuse me," "I'm sorry to bother you," or "Could you help me, please?" These phrases are polite and make the person you are asking feel respected. For example, if you are in a store and cannot find an item, you can say, "Excuse me, could you help me find the bread?" If you are at a train station and are unsure which train to take, you could ask, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could you tell me which train goes to the city center?" These polite phrases make your request clear and respectful. In some situations, you may need to give more information when you ask for assistance. Being clear and specific helps the other person understand your problem. For example, if your phone is not working, you could say, "Excuse me, my phone is not working. Can you help me?" If you do not know how to use a machine, you can say, "Could you please show me how to use this machine?" Giving clear details about your problem makes it easier for people to help you. If you are not sure how to explain your problem, you can start by saying, "I have a problem," or "I need some help." These simple phrases show that you need assistance and encourage others to listen. When asking for help, it is also helpful to pay attention to the situation. If someone looks busy, it is better to wait or find someone else to ask. For example, if you are in a store and a worker is helping another customer, you can wait until they finish. When they are free, you can say, "Excuse me, can I ask for your help?" This shows that you are patient and respectful of their time. If you are in a hurry and need help quickly, you can say, "I'm sorry to bother you, but it's urgent. Can you help me, please?" This helps the other person understand that you need help right away. In addition to using polite language, your tone of voice and body language are also important. When asking for help, try to speak clearly and use a calm voice. If you speak too quietly, the person may not hear you. If you speak too quickly, they may not understand you. A clear and calm voice helps others understand what you need. Your body language also sends a message. If you smile and make eye contact, you show that you are friendly and polite. If you look angry or impatient, the other person may not want to help you. Being polite with both your words and actions makes it easier for others to respond positively to your request. Sometimes people may not be able to help you, and that is okay. If someone says, "I'm sorry, I can't help you," you can thank them anyway by saying thank you for your time. It is also a good idea to try asking someone else. For example, if you ask a stranger for directions and they do not know, you can politely ask another person. Being patient and polite increases your chances of getting the help you need. If you are in a place with many workers, like a store or a hospital, it is usually easy to find someone else who can assist you. When you receive help, always remember to show gratitude. Saying thank you or "I really appreciate it" shows that you value the other person's kindness. If someone gives you detailed help, you can say, "Thank you so much for your help," or "I really appreciate your assistance." If the help was quick but useful, you can simply say, "Thanks a lot." Being thankful encourages people to continue helping others. It also leaves a good impression and shows that you are polite and respectful. Asking for assistance is a useful skill in daily life. Whether you need help finding a location, understanding instructions, or solving a problem, knowing how to ask politely and clearly makes communication easier. It also helps you build better relationships with people around you. By using polite phrases, giving clear details, being patient, and showing gratitude, you can ask for assistance in a respectful and effective way. When asking for assistance, it is important to understand that different situations may require different ways of requesting help. In everyday life, you might need help in various places, such as a supermarket, a bus stop, a school, or even on the street. Knowing how to ask for assistance in different situations makes you feel more confident and helps you communicate effectively. It is also important to recognize that the way you ask for help may change depending on who you are speaking to. For example, when asking a stranger for help, you may want to be more formal and polite. When asking a friend or family member, you can be more casual and relaxed. Understanding these differences will help you navigate different social situations more easily. When you ask for help from someone you do not know, it is best to use formal and polite language. Starting with phrases like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you," or "Could you help me, please?" shows respect and makes the person more willing to assist you. For instance, if you are in a supermarket and cannot find a product, you could ask an employee, "Excuse me, could you please tell me where the milk is?" If you are lost in a new city, you might stop someone on the street and say, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could you help me find the train station?" These polite expressions make your request sound kind and respectful, which increases the chances that the other person will be happy to help. When you are asking for help from someone you know, you can use more casual and simple phrases. For example, if you are at home and need help moving a heavy box, you can say to a family member, "Hey, can you help me with this box?" If you are working on homework and have a question, you might ask a friend, "Can you explain this to me?" In these familiar situations, it is not always necessary to be very formal, but it is still important to be polite. Adding words like "please" and "thanks" makes your request friendlier and shows that you appreciate their help. For example, you could say, "Can you help me with this, please?" Or after receiving help, "Thanks a lot for your help." Sometimes, you may need to ask for help in situations where people are very busy, such as in a hospital, at a busy store, or in a crowded place. In these cases, it is especially important to be clear and direct while still being polite. If you are in a hospital and need help finding a doctor's office, you could say to a staff member, "Excuse me, I need to find Dr. Smith's office. Can you help me, please?" If you are at a busy restaurant and need assistance, you could say to a waiter, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could I get some water, please?" Being clear and polite helps the other person understand your needs quickly, even when they are busy. In some situations, you might need to ask for help in an emergency. When there is an emergency, it is important to speak clearly and quickly so that others understand the seriousness of the situation. For example, if someone is hurt, you can say, "Help." Someone is injured. Please call an ambulance. If you see a fire, you might say, "There's a fire. Please call the fire department." In emergencies, people understand that you must speak directly and urgently, so it is okay to be less formal. However, it is still helpful to speak clearly and loudly so that others understand and respond quickly. When you ask for assistance, it is also helpful to use gestures or body language to make your request clearer. For example, if you are asking for directions, you might point to a map or a street to show where you want to go. If you need help lifting something heavy, you could gesture toward the object to show what you need help with. Using gestures along with clear language can make your request easier to understand, especially if the other person does not speak your language well. In many cases, body language can make communication smoother and help the other person understand your needs more quickly. Another important part of asking for assistance is being patient and understanding. Sometimes, the person you ask may not be able to help you immediately. For example, if you ask for help in a store and the worker is busy, they might say, "I'll be with you in a moment." In these cases, it is important to wait politely until they are available. If someone cannot help you at all, you could try asking someone else. For instance, if you ask a stranger for directions and they do not know, you can thank them and ask another person. Being patient and polite makes it easier to get the help you need and leaves a good impression on others. It is also useful to know how to respond when someone offers you assistance without being asked. Sometimes, people notice when you need help and offer it before you ask. For example, if you are struggling to carry a heavy bag, someone might say, "Do you need help with that?" In this situation, you can respond politely by saying, "Yes, please." "Thank you." If you do not need help, you can say, "Thank you, but I'm okay." Being polite when accepting or refusing help shows that you appreciate the other person's kindness. Learning how to ask for assistance in different situations is a valuable skill. Whether you are asking for help from a stranger, a friend, or in an emergency, using polite and clear language makes your communication more effective. By practicing different ways to ask for help, you will feel more confident when you need assistance. Remember to be polite, use clear language, and show gratitude when someone helps you. These small actions make a big difference in everyday communication and help you build positive relationships with the people around you. When learning to ask for assistance, it is also important to understand how cultural differences can affect the way people give and receive help. In some cultures, people are very open to offering assistance, even without being asked. For example, if you look confused or lost, someone might approach you and say, "Do you need help?" In other cultures, people may wait until you ask for help directly. Understanding these cultural differences can help you feel more comfortable when asking for assistance in different countries or with people from different backgrounds. If you are unsure how to ask, starting with polite and clear phrases like "excuse me" or "could you help me, please," is always a good choice, no matter where you are. Another important skill when asking for assistance is knowing how to ask follow-up questions. Sometimes, when someone gives you help, their answer may not be completely clear to you. In these situations, it is useful to ask additional questions to get more information. For example, if you ask for directions and someone says, "Go straight and turn left," but you are still unsure, you could ask, "How far should I go straight?" Or is it the first left or the second left? Being able to ask follow-up questions helps you get the help you need more effectively. You can also use phrases like, "Could you explain that again, please?" Or "I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Could you repeat that?" These phrases show that you are listening carefully and want to understand clearly. When asking for assistance, it is also helpful to recognize when to offer help in return. Communication is a two-way process, and just as you may need help sometimes, others may need your help as well. If someone helps you, there may be opportunities for you to assist them later. For example, if a coworker helps you understand a task, you could offer to help them with something else in the future by saying, "Thank you for your help. Let me know if you ever need anything." Offering help in return shows kindness and builds positive relationships with others. Even if you cannot directly repay someone, a sincere thank you so much for your help shows that you value their time and effort. It is also useful to know how to ask for assistance when you are using services such as public transportation, customer service, or healthcare. In these settings, you may need to ask for help with specific problems. For instance, at a train station, you could ask, "Could you help me find the right platform, please?" When speaking to customer service, you might say, "I have a problem with my order. Could you assist me?" In a doctor's office, you could ask, "Could you help me understand these instructions?" Using specific language helps people in these roles understand your problem quickly and find a solution. Additionally, being patient and respectful with service workers is especially important, as they often assist many people throughout the day. Sometimes, you may need to ask for assistance in a professional or formal setting, such as at work or school. In these environments, it is best to use polite, clear, and professional language. For example, if you do not understand a work assignment, you could ask your manager, "Could you clarify the instructions for this task, please?" If you are a student and need help with an assignment, you could say to your teacher, "I'm having difficulty with this question. Could you explain it to me, please?" Using formal language shows that you are serious and respectful. It is also helpful to show that you have already tried to solve the problem yourself before asking for help. For instance, you might say, "I have tried to solve this, but I'm still confused. Could you help me understand it better?" When asking for assistance, it is also important to be aware of how to respond if the person you ask cannot help you. Sometimes, the person may not know the answer or may be too busy to assist you. If this happens, it is polite to say, "Thank you anyway," or "I appreciate your time." You can then look for someone else who might be able to help. For example, if you ask a store employee where to find an item and they are unsure, you could say, "Thank you anyway. I'll try asking someone else." Being understanding and kind, even when someone cannot help, leaves a positive impression and makes it easier to ask for help again in the future. In some cases, you may need to ask for assistance using technology. For example, if you're using a website and have trouble, you might need to contact customer support. Many websites offer live chat, email, or phone support where you can ask for help. In these situations, it is important to describe your problem clearly and politely. You could say, "Hello, I'm having trouble logging into my account. Could you assist me, please?" If you are using a self-service kiosk at a store or a ticket machine and do not understand how it works, you could ask a nearby worker, "Excuse me, could you show me how to use this machine?" Being able to ask for assistance with technology is becoming more important as many services move online. Another useful skill is learning how to ask for assistance in a group setting. Sometimes, you may need help when you are in a meeting, a classroom, or a social gathering. In these situations, it is important to be respectful and wait for the right moment to ask. For example, in a classroom, you could raise your hand and say, "I have a question. Could you help me understand this part, please?" In a meeting, you might wait until there is a pause and then ask, "Could you clarify that point, please?" Being respectful of the group and asking your question clearly helps you get the help you need without interrupting others. Asking for assistance is an essential life skill that helps you navigate different situations with confidence. Whether you are asking for directions, seeking help with a problem, or requesting clarification, using polite and clear language makes communication easier. Remember to be patient, respectful, and grateful when others assist you. Practicing these skills in everyday situations will improve your ability to ask for help effectively. Over time, You will become more comfortable asking for assistance and offering help to others, making your interactions smoother and more positive.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Money.
Resources.
Not enough people to do the job.
Understaffed.
It's not a good time now.
The timing is just not right.
Remove pressure or stress.
Weight off my shoulders.
Help.
Give me a hand.
It's okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Hire.
Recruit.
Working too much.
Overworked.
Not enough people to do the job.
Short-staffed.
Reduce spending.
Cut costs.
Having too many employees.
Overstaffed. Let's try that faster.
Working too much.
Overworked.
Remove pressure or stress.
Weight off my shoulders.
Having too many employees.
Overstaffed.
Reduce spending.
Cut costs.
Hire.
Recruit.
Money.
Resources.
It's okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Not enough people to do the job.
Understaffed.
Not enough people to do the job.
Short-staffed.
Help.
Give me a hand.
It's not a good time now.
The timing is just not right. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Resources.
We would like to use more resources to increase our sales.
Resources.
We don't have enough resources to start a new project.
Resources.
Intel has a lot of resources for research and development.
Understaffed.
Hospitals in poor regions of Africa are understaffed.
Understaffed.
I did overtime last week because the company is understaffed.
Understaffed.
The factory is producing less than usual because it's understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right for us to have a baby.
The timing is just not right.
I want to buy a car, but the timing is just not right.
Weight off my shoulders.
Could you help me plan the party? That would really take some of the weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Finishing that project was a big weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Winning the lottery took a great weight off my shoulders.
Give me a hand.
Can you give me a hand with these boxes?
Give me a hand.
Neil, I'll need you to give me a hand with the sales report.
Give me a hand.
Here, let me give you a hand with your suitcase. Paying $30 for new shoes sounds reasonable. Does that sound reasonable to you?